Hey guys, it's Alex with Paragon Performance. Today we're going to be showing you how to install the LED grill bezel lights for the C8 Corvette. These feature a smoked lens with a white daytime running light, a user selectable turn signal between a sequential or walking turn signal and a solid turn signal. These are also plug and play to make the installation an ease. These lights can be installed with the bumper on the vehicle. However, if you do have the Paragon grill guards, we are going to recommend removing the bumper. It will save you some time and frustration. You are 90% of the way there of removing the bumper anyway, and I'll walk you through the last couple steps. Let's get to this install. All right, first you want to raise and support your vehicle properly. We're starting here on the underside of the car. We are going to remove all these screws along here that hold the front lip on. These should be a T15 Torx bit. You will have to remove this panel, the center panel, and this other outer panel here. Those will be T15s or a 7mm socket as well. And don't forget, you have a hidden T15 in the outside of either one of these two vents. All right, now we've got to get both front wheels removed here. Next, we're going to remove the fender liner here. It's not necessary to fully remove it. You only need to undo this front half of the fender liner. Everything that we need to access is going to be right here behind the bumper. You're going to start here by removing the mud flap. There's going to be 3 7mm screws here along the bottom that needs to be undone. Then we're going to pull the mud flap off. They're just little push-in clips, so they should pull off. And then we're going to work our way through the fender liner here. They're going to be all T15s all the way through. And then you will have one plastic push clip here on the top that we need to remove, and then we can remove the fender liner. Now repeat the same thing for the other side. For this step, you're going to need a 7mm socket. We need to access these 3 screws here that hold the bumper to the fender. The bottom one we will need to remove completely. The top 2 we just need to loosen a couple turns. All right, so we're going to start by removing this factory bezel piece. You will have 3 7mm screws that you will need to access from the back side. You can access that up through the bottom down here. And then we will undo this tab here, and then we'll be able to pull the grill bezel out of the bumper. All right, repeat the same for the other side. All right, we're gonna get this light installed now. We're gonna start by taking the wiring. We're gonna fish it through this hole here below where everything bolts into place. Just let it hang out the bottom. And we're gonna work on getting the clips installed here and then getting the light, the studs on the light lined up with the holes here, as well as the little tab here on the end into the bumper. That can be a little bit of a challenge. You do have to be a little rough to kind of push it into there. Once we've got that into place, then we're going to install the 10mm nuts on the back side and just go ahead and tighten those down. And then we will take our hands up through the bottom of the grill here, and we'll grab the edge of the bumper and we'll pull out on this. And we're going to route this wire up through, kind of following this body line. And there's a little plastic clip back here that we will hook it over the top, and I'll show you that in just a second when we get back there. And like I was saying, we'll fish the cable up through here behind the bumper, and I'll show you here where it clips over the tab. As you can see here where we've kind of fished this through, it's going to be coming through between the bumper and right here at the top of the radiator. We're going to take this, we're going to route it in behind this harness so we can hook it over the edge of this plastic tab that the harness is attached to. And then that way it'll route kind of up and along with the factory harness here. And just like so, we've got them kind of located, hooked over this edge. That'll keep them out of the way of anything sharp. Then we can reset our bumper back into its bracket there. And then on to the fun part. We need to plug our lights in. So we need to access this connector up here and unplug it from the back of the headlight. It does have a red safety tab on it, just like this one here on the passenger side does. The driver's side will be identical. We will unplug that connector. We are going to install our plug and play harness in line with that connector. So the original connector will plug into one side, this will plug in back into the back of the headlight. We're going to tuck it up above this metal bracket, and then we will route this separate 4-pin connector down and along, and we will plug it into the matching 4-pin connector from the light. And as you can see, we have a second connector here that comes up. If you plug the two together, it will give you the sequential turn signal or the walking turn signal. If you actually unplug it, then it will be just a solid standard turn signal. And then you will want to take this and tuck it up out of the way up here. Just find a little cubby to stick it in. And then we're gonna get our plug and play adapter plugged in. A small screwdriver can be helpful to get this clip undone. Up and into there, and plug our headlight back in. And then we're gonna route our wire down, plug it into our light. And tuck this up and out of the way as well. There you guys have it. Not too terrible of an install. Before you button up the rest of your car, verify everything with the lights. The functions work as you want. Select your turn signal option, and then obviously put your fender liners back in, your under tray and front lip, and enjoy your awesome new lights. All right, let's walk you through the last couple steps here to get this bumper removed. We've got 3 electrical connectors here in the wheel wells we need to undo. Then we'll lower the car down, undo some trim pieces here in the frunk. We've got 6 screws to undo. We can get that bumper taken off. Let's get to it. All right, so we're here on the passenger side. We need to undo this black electrical connector. Once you've unclipped it, you'll need to remove it from the aluminum bracket that it's in. So we're over here on the driver's side. We need to access these 2 connectors, a red and a black. These are your front camera connectors. We're gonna have a red safety tab on each one of them we need to release, unplug and pull them off. Then we will also need to remove them from this aluminum brace as well. Moving to the front now, we need to remove these 4 trim pieces so we can access some screws underneath here to finish taking the bumper off. Start with these outside pieces here, and they will just kind of pull off and out of the way. Then you have some clips here in the corners of this one. And there's a clip here towards the center. We'll have to kind of flex this up and out of the way and slide that off. We're going to start with these, and you'll need to kind of twist them and pull them out from underneath the fender. And then just work your way across. These ones can be extremely tight. Now we need to remove these 6 T15s. There are 2 other ones here. These are for alignment of the bumper. We are going to leave these in place. All right, now we're gonna get this bumper taken off the rest of the way. We're gonna start here on the sides and pull them from the fender, make sure they're loose on both sides, and then we were going to pull the bumper out of its clips here. This can be a little difficult and it does take some force, but there's a nice spot here for you to stick your fingers and pull it out. Once you're done with that, find a couple good places for you to grab onto, and we're just going to kind of pull it off. All right, so with the Paragon grill guard installed, we need to remove these 3 7mm screws in from the front. We need to release this tab here in the top corner. Just kind of flex it up a little bit. You'll be able to pop it out of its hole. And then we need to release these clips around the outside. Sometimes reaching in from the back and being able to apply some pressure on these clips will help them come out. Now we need to unbolt the brackets that hold the grill guard to the original grill. We'll need to do that from the back side here. Undo those. Keep track of the orientation of those brackets because we do need to reinstall them in the correct direction when we set the grill light in. Okay, and then we're going to take the original grill. You will have to pull the double-sided tape loose down here. You will have to apply some new double-sided tape when you reassemble this. But we need to remove this double-sided tape so we can kind of bend the grill back out of the way here. All right, so we're going to fish our wires through here in this hole here. And then we're going to start by lining up and installing this side here with the grill and the bumper. Once you've got those started, then we're going to line up and push the light into the holes of the factory grill. This can be a little difficult, just like so. And then making sure that your tab up here lined up with the hole in the bumper as well. We're going to flip it over, show you installing the brackets for the grill. Okay, so we're going to get the brackets installed. They will go on this stud and this stud. And then we're going to take the 10mm nut installed and we're going to put them on these studs and tighten them down into place. Now we're going to take our harness here, we're going to route it up and above the grill over here. We're going to go behind this harness here, and we're going to tuck it behind the plastic tab that the factory bumper harness is in, and just leave them hang out here for now. Next, we need to reinstall the grill to the brackets, starting with this more centered one. Install the bolt up through the bottom. Then we are going to set the grill back down on it, and then we will just start the nut. And we'll do the same with this other one. And then reapply your double-sided tape. We're going to get this set into place down here and stuck. And then just verify that your harness gets tucked up and away through this corner below this bottom rib here. And then using a 10mm wrench, you will be able to reach through the grill from the front side and hold the nut, or hold the bolt, and tighten it down. So we've got this light installed on this side with the grill guard. We're going to repeat the same process here for the other side. We need to get this bumper reinstalled on the car here. Install your 6 screws across the top. Get these 2 corners snapped back into place and bolted down here on this outer edge. Don't forget to plug in your 3 factory connectors. As well, I'm going to show you what to do now with the connectors here for our bezel lights. All right, so we've got our bumper put back on the car. You're going to want to reinstall all the screws that hold your bumper on. And then from there, we need to reconnect the factory electrical connectors. Keep in mind there is 1 connector on the passenger side, 2 connectors on the driver's side. The driver's side ones are color coded, so you cannot mix them up. And then reinstall the connectors back into the aluminum bracket that we pulled them out of earlier. And then on to the fun part. We need to plug our lights in. So we need to access this connector up here and unplug it from the back of the headlight. It does have a red safety tab on it, just like this one here on the passenger side does. The driver's side will be identical. We will unplug that connector. We are going to install our plug and play harness in line with that connector. So the original connector will plug into one side, this will plug in back into the back of the headlight. We're going to tuck it up above this metal bracket, and then we will route this separate 4-pin connector down and along, and we will plug it into the matching 4-pin connector from the light. And as you can see, we have a second connector here that comes up. If you plug the two together, it will give you the sequential turn signal or the walking turn signal. If you actually unplug it, then it will be just a solid standard turn signal. And then you will want to take this and tuck it up out of the way up here. Just find a little cubby to stick it in. And then we're gonna get our plug and play adapter plugged in. A small screwdriver can be helpful to get this clip undone. Up and into there, and plug our headlight back in. And then we're gonna route our wire down, plug it into our light. And tuck this up and out of the way as well. Quick reassembly recap. We're gonna get these screws reinstalled here across the front of the bumper. Get your frunk trim panels reinstalled. We will need to get your fender to bumper screws reinstalled. From there, we need to reinstall fender liners and the mud flaps. And then we can install the 3 plastic under tray panels as well as the front lip. And now you're ready to roll. There you have it, real easy install. Earn some cool points at your local car show or Cars and Coffee. As always, like, subscribe, and comment. We'll see you guys next time.